Well, I figured I would get this one out there while my name on Twitter is CDTV the Uzi Stan. I'm newly reformed, I'm with you guys now. Okay, I'm not really a stan at this point, but I'm just saying his music has grown on me quite a bit. I completed this list in the last few months of 2018 and was gonna wait until Eternal Atake dropped to finally upload it because you never know, there might be a few fast verses on there, but yeah. So, we all know Uzi can run fast when approached with scarily accurate knowledge of his childhood. But can he rap at quite the same pace? Well, this is CDTVProductions, a newly reformed Uzi stan here. Real quick, this video is gonna make zero monetization. It's gonna go straight to UMG because they're gonna instantly claim this as soon as it goes up because it uses clips of songs that are longer than 10 seconds uninterrupted. So that's the right time to plug my stuff. If you guys want to support the channel, you can click join down below to become a channel member. There's two different tiers at the moment, $2 and $5. $5 members get every new video early and everyone gets their name credited at the end of the video. Just thought I would throw that in there in a video that I know I'm most likely not going to make any money on. And with that being said, let's take a look at the 10 fastest Lil Uzi Vert verses so far.
And if you do that, I swear you in trouble, I feel like I am alone. Cause you know my brother, then I cannot trust you, these bitches be choosing the most. You don't got no money, then I don't even want you. My bands got up overnight, I fucking bitches get money, I'm that motherfucker.
And we're kicking it off with a track from one of Uzi's earliest mixtapes. From the sound of it, it's very possible that he took inspiration here from Wiz Khalifa's trap Wiz style, as Uzi has mentioned Wiz as one of his influences. But personally, I'm not a fan of the strong autotune over this particular beat with the faster rapping pace. The actual flow itself is solid though.
Know a couple niggas in some fucked up situation, getting 40-60, changing occupation. Got a couple riders with me, Harley Davidson. Could've had 3 of them, but turned to 8 of them. Model bitches with a 0, taping bricks to her stomach just to add a little weight.
I'm not even exaggerating here. Uzi kills this track. I might even go as far to say it's a case of a feature saving the song because his verse is so nice. The flow switches are so damn smooth on here, and that includes the quick transition into the fast part. I really enjoy this verse.
On top of me, jocking me, sucking me properly, actually sucking me sloppily. 50 and hundreds, my wrist be bumping. Got so much damn money, I start speaking grapping. These lettuce and broccoli, bread with a lot of cheese. Honestly, none of you niggas is hot as me.
Okay, let me just get this out there. This song is very clearly influenced by the Migos. And when I say influenced, it's in all capitals because this straight up sounds like Quavo wrote it, picked the beat, and then Uzi rapped it. With that Zaytoven style of instrumental, the single word being repeated over and over for the hook, pretty much everything sounds like the early Migos style on here. Except for the fast part you just heard. Right towards the end, Uzi switches up his flow to lure you back in, and it does make it a bit more hard-hitting and noticeable, especially coming after relatively repetitive flows.
I'm in the wrist, and I got the chopper, that bitch go block, I aim at a copper. 40 foot bitch, got instant clip, that shit is so big like an elephant stopper. I need $1 million, net if at 6, for me and my niggas, I'm making these 6, and that nigga bitch was looking at me in the...
Here we have Uzi's verse on a remix to the song Chiraq, originally by Nicki Minaj. It's kinda different hearing Uzi over such a cold, threatening beat such as this one, but by matching it with some pretty dark lyrics and a more serious tone of voice, he honestly sounds great on it. I've never heard a 5'4" man sound more threatening in my life. To be fair, he's 6 inches taller than me when he's standing on his money, so who's really winning here? Now I have to say, personally, I've never been a fan of that thing rappers do where they consistently try to distance themselves from being a rapper and say stuff like, oh, I'm a rock star, things like that. But this is one of the songs where I kind of give Uzi a pass for it, because the way he comes in with his rougher vocals backed by some distortion does sound quite wild and rock star-like. This rougher sound to it has made some people dislike the verse. When I made a video on songs ruined by the feature, I saw quite a few people suggest this one, but I honestly like what Uzi does on here. Even before I enjoyed him as a rapper, I like this verse. He adds a raw element to the track that I don't find any trouble enjoying.
Yeah, bitch, I smoke gas, I get hella high, yeah, that shit put me in the sky like satellite. I told that nigga bitch, so he a sadder guy, I fuck that nigga bitch, so he a madder guy. She was with you when I called her phone and she answered, and that show you that you do not matter guy. Yeah, my cousin trapping.
Lil Uzi Vert, and Gucci Mane. This is a collaboration that I would have hated 6 or so months ago, but both artists have grown on me, albeit to varying degrees. Gucci not as much, but the Drop Top WAP tape is dope. I really want to check out more of his solo stuff to really form my opinion on him fully. Even if I didn't like Gucci, he only handles the hook on this song anyway, with Uzi's vocals backing him during that as well. It's basically Uzi's song. And that works, because from what I've heard, the beat definitely sounds more suited to Uzi than to Gucci Mane.
Woke up this morning, went straight to the kitchen. I'm whipping and whipping. That act got me sipping. That perk got me itches and that got me tripping. I'm busting the smith and these niggas start dipping. But hope that I'm missing. I take your existence. My dick was she gripping. My pockets they dripping. That bitch think I'm.
And now we're going back to another earlier Uzi song from 2014 specifically. I knew Lil Uzi's style was different back before he started gaining some traction, but he's barely even recognizable on this song. It was definitely before he really found his voice, so naturally, I'm not a huge fan of this one. The non-stop run-on flow on the verse is cool though, but it's strikingly similar to another track that we have later on in this list. Oh, the suspense. What's that foreshadowing? Is it a song you know? Is it a song you don't know? I guess you'll need to stay to find out. No matter how I feel about it overall though, it's a good track to see how far Uzi has come with his song crafting ability since 2014, because I think we can all agree he's definitely improved.
Lil Uzi, I swear that I just be gone. Lil Uzi, I swear that I just be flowing. Drinking that lane when I'm with my niggas game. I swear to God that I just be pouring. More like a captain that we never lacking. I swear to God that we.
Enemies is a top 5 Uzi song for me, probably even top 3. Everything from the delayed drop-in of the drum beat on the first verse, which makes it all the more impactful. Seriously, listen to this song on some good speakers and that drum beat drop slaps. All 3 verses being fairly different, which helps keep the song engaging from the first second to the last, to Uzi's confident and boastful hook, makes this song so enjoyable to listen to. And the fast part is so attention grabbing, coming out of nowhere at the start of the second verse, contrasting against the slower hook, which makes it feel all the more energetic. It's really one of the moments that makes this song one of my favourite Uzi tracks. It's a great one.
I'm getting these sunners, I keep it 100. You look at my chain and that bitch is so sunny. This motherfucker cold, it be a nose running. I got a bitch live out in Dublin, get money. I'm in with a drum and I ball like I'm drumming. Got Uzis and Max and I might Billy trucking.
I like Uzi's verse on this song, and I would say he's my favourite part of the track, but there is one small thing that I kinda wish he changed about this verse. And it's my same issue as with Uzi Intro, which was at the start of this video. And of course, it's the use of that really overt auto-tune on it. Auto-tune is not something I'm against in all situations, very far from it. But on a song where Uzi is rapping rather than being melodic over this hard, glitchy, digital beat, I feel like it wasn't necessary and kinda detracts from his verse slightly. He already has an interesting rasp to his voice that I don't think needed to be further brought out with the autotune. Regardless though, his flow is solid on this song. Perhaps not one that I expected to be one of his fastest, but as you can tell, it's in the top 5 of fast Uzi verses.
See that, get you beat out, worried about me, back, get your lick back. Just like bitches, y'all all chit chat. Car so far, got an engine in the back. Balenciaga with the Gucci and the Prada with the Louis and the Gucci and it's all bitch match. Hoes Lil Uzi in the front from a goofy. In Chiraq 150 be strapped.
If you're wondering why, in 2018, everyone started remixing a 3-6 Mafia track that wasn't even one of their biggest songs, G Herbo is the reason why. He freestyled over it on a radio station, later released a full version of the track, challenged other rappers to remix it, and then dropped another version of his own remix featuring an added guest verse from Lil Uzi. And it is not a beat I expected to hear Uzi over, but he fits in pretty well on this. More than I expected him to. The best parts of his verse are where Uzi channels a deeper delivery because it fits in against the beat more than when he goes higher pitched, but overall the verse is just pretty damn nice as a whole. And because hip hop beef is almost always entertaining, it's fun to hear Uzi fire some more shots at Rich the Kid on this one as well.
Burberry bandit, got Burberry tennis shoes. I got the sweater, probably I'ma finish you. I am an octopus, I cannot breathe without water, so I put diamonds on my tentacles. How are you stopping us? There's not topping us. You know I had to cop that shit about the two. Blood in my chakra, I would not pop a chip.
This This might just be the song that really made me realize I should give Uzi's whole catalogue a second chance. When I finished this song for the first time and realized I was engaged with a song just shy of 6 minutes that was over one beat the entire time by a rapper that I disliked before, I knew that maybe time had changed my opinion on Little Jacuzzi Vertical. The upbeat instrumental moves pretty fast and Uzi keeps up with it with his flow for pretty much the whole song and does throw quite a few flow switches into the mix. While I do like some of his harder, more aggressive tracks, this one really made me realize that my favorite Uzi songs are these really bright, happy sounding ones. In my opinion, it's one of the most addictive Lil Uzi songs out there.
I be sipping my words, they be slowing and purging my water, you know I be skirting. I'm whipping and whipping, the wrist be churning. They say it is real, your chain be turning. And fake niggas only think that I'm allergic. I write on the dotted line, right up in cursive. I'm chalking the out of line. When you get murdered, you talk.
Yep. The fastest verse on this list was recorded through what sounds like the equivalent of a default Xbox gaming headset. Maybe all he had was that mic, so, you know, work with what you've got. I won't take the piss because of it. This song is definitely something that's surprising to hear, especially if you've only heard Uzi on his newest projects, because as far as I'm aware, he's never rapped this consistently fast with no breaths on a song outside of this one. You only heard a 10-second snippet that I played just there, but the whole 50-second verse is basically on par with that pace. So if there's anything to take away from this video as a whole, it's that Uzi can rap relatively fast if that's something that you care about. This verse is just 0.1 syllables per second shy of Ski Mask's verse on Flowrider, or even Tech 9's verse on Speed 'Em, a song literally named after its speed. But he chooses to focus on songs with more of an aesthetic appeal. And me personally, I'm absolutely fine with that. So there we have it. That was the fastest Lil Uzi Vert verse so far, and even with the lower quality, it was an impressive one. Well guys, that's going to be it for the video today. Thank you so much for watching. My channel members are on the screen right now, so shout out to all of them. I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel. So just like most of the people watching this video, I'm eagerly waiting Eternal Atake, and if there is a lot of fast rapping on there, I'll definitely make an updated version of this list. And maybe there's some songs that I missed out on this list that I just haven't heard before. So if you think I've missed any, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video, and this is CDTVProductions signing out. Make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications because that always helps more than anything, because that's how you can see my videos. Signing out.